Okay, let's get into this one right here. Austin Reeves turns into Larry Bird. Oh, we thought Luka Doncic was a baby bird. I don't know, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. And it's kind of, too bad that, I think Saturday will be my last video after the Bill Russell Isn't Top 10 series. Yeah, too bad that's going to be my last video, but whatever, man. I'm sick of the NBA shenanigans. I'm sick of, UT playing games with my videos, my subs, my views, all this stuff. All these guys on YouTube who's supposed to be Michael Jordan fans, they all sound like, not all of them, but the majority of them, they all sound like robots. They all say the same thing. And there's nothing unique about it no more. They don't hold, people's feet to the fire when they're supposed to. And to me, it just became all about money. All about money, not the truth, not NBA or anything like that. But, I'm going to explain more of that in my last video. I think it's going to be Saturday. Saturday is going to be my last video. I think that'll be the last of the Bill Russell series. And again, as the videos continue to get shadow banned, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Only thing matters is that they're out. And they're not out to, diss Bill Russell or, even get you to take Bill Russell out of 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. But the facts are out there about his career, about Will's career, about the 60s in the Boston Celtics. That's what's important, folks, because nobody has ever put those videos out to even put Bill Russell in the Boston Celtics in the right, to put it in the right perspective. You know what I'm saying? We just always looked at 11 championships. That's it. And Bill Russell, was a leader. That's it. So let's talk about this right here. I don't know. I guess what's going to be said is the obvious, right? LeBron James had an embarrassment of riches, kind of like Bill Russell. Go back and look at the videos. But, we're not comparing Bill Russell to LeBron James. But I'm just saying in the sense of embarrassment of riches, that's what LeBron James has always had. And the fact that these guys have always been held back from, performing up to their full potential, and, so LeBron James can get his easy stats. Remember, most people always said this, but I've always said this too, that all these guys are on LeBron James' team to do the stuff that he can't do or don't want to do or fails to do at certain times. That's why these guys are on LeBron James' team. Now, at the end of the day, if LeBron James doesn't come through because he's supposed to be the number one dude, it falls on all these other guys' shoulders, right? It falls on their shoulders. And for some reason, they always take the hit and take the lashing. Mazda will get in the lashing, right? That's how it's always been with LeBron James teams. And that's how you know the NBA is fixed, rigged, and cooked. Because the NBA never worked like this back in any other time. Even when, I don't even think when LeBron James was in the 2000s, it worked like this. The media held his feet to the fire for failing. All the way up until, I don't know, I think maybe until about 2015, okay? They basically had one guy holding LeBron James' feet to the fire, really, and that was Skip Bayless. Until about 2015-16. One guy, it was Skip Bayless first. The whole damn media. How does that work? And how does that work is they had nobody else, I guess you could say Curry, after 2014, that, I don't know, the whole thing is just confusing to me. I done did a lot of homework behind, their script. And it's just a weird script, man. Just a weird script, because we never seen a league who promoted losing, who promoted melted down, who promoted choking, who promoted, someone who really don't have a skill at their sport at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? There's actually, okay, let's just say Tom Brady wasn't the best passer in the league, but he wasn't nowhere near the worst passer in the league. Nowhere near the worst passer in the league, right? Nowhere near. And let's say Tom Brady was, he had a winner's mentality. He had a leader's mentality. And, LeBron James never had that. Michael Jordan had a leader's, winner's, mentality. Okay, LeBron James never had that. And just because a lot of guys never won championships like John Stockton or Charles Barkley or, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean they didn't have a winner's or a leader's mentality. It was just a competition. That don't mean they didn't have skills at the highest level, because they did. When we look at LeBron James, he don't really possess skills at the highest level. And when we talk about the highest level, we're talking about, you know, the in the league, these guys average, the highest guys average just rebound. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about rebounds, when we talk about, I don't know, for your position, it has to be 10 for you to be considered, I don't know, good to great. LeBron James was never that, for his size, his height, and all that stuff. Assists, okay, 7 assists is good. It's not great or upper echelon. I mean, what we say Magic Johnson, he's Magic Johnson-like. So Magic Johnson averaged 7 assists? What an insult, man. And that's what I'm saying. It just, this is what gets me, guys. These guys can get their errors pissed on right in their eyes, and they say nothing, folks. And where was Michael Jordan? We did that video yesterday. It's like, let me continue. And then, you know, the scoring is like very limited for this guy. It's just straight up barrel into the basket. We've never seen that before. In no era, we've never seen a guy just barrel to the basket, you know, giving stiff arms and elbows and just crazy. We just never seen this stuff. Yeah, we seen guys barrel to the basket, but that's not their go-to move. That's not their, you know, how they get most of their points and, you know, things like that. That's not, you know, you would think of a guy like that with, you know, that big, with some post-up moves, with some jab steps, with some, you know, a guy that's supposed to be number 1 or number 2, with some footwork and stuff like that. It's nothing. So he doesn't do nothing on the highest level. And this is what the NBA has promoted for all these years. Yes, he's a great to the basket type of player, no doubt about that. But in essence, who is he really going against? As far as the shot blockers in the basket and to the rim and stuff like that, who's he really going against? I don't, you know what I'm saying? There's no big guys that try to stop him. So he's just the biggest guy on the court for a long time, going against no all-time great power forwards or centers. And you can carry and travel. Okay, let's get back to this story. And, you know, when we look at this with Austin Reeves, it's just incredible, man. I know we're going to talk about the fouls. Okay, the Lakers are going to always get these fouls. And that's it, man. The league is trying to, we already know the league is fixed and rigged and all this stuff. But on top of that, they're going to come out every night and show you that it's going to continue to be fixed and rigged and all that stuff, especially for the Lakers. For the Lakers. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about their look, this is what they rather do. The NBA isn't ran off of greatness no more. All that is over. On-court greatness that would turn into a soap opera like it always did in the, you know, 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. That's over. That's over, folks. They don't have that no more. They don't have the men to do that, okay? You can already see that. They're all sitting on the sideline hurt. Nobody knows how and why the season just started. But they don't have those men no more. So what the NBA is going to give you now is just a soap opera without any on-court greatness. And who is going to push their game, obviously, like I said, is all these YouTube platforms, right? YouTube platforms. So you're advertising their game basically for free, or whatever money YouTube is going to give you through views. So again, I'm pretty smart, right? You got to give it to me, guys. This is why my last days on YouTube, I'm gone, because these dummies out here ain't going to tell you this stuff, because they're all about money. They're not about wanting the NBA to change. They're about wanting money. So anyways, yeah, they'll tell you they want the NBA to change. They don't want to. If the NBA changed back like it used to, you won't be making no money. What are you talking about? You couldn't have the controversy. You couldn't get on here every day and criticize and be a critic and all this stuff. They don't want the game back to where it used to be. What are they talking about? So these top 5 players, I'm the only one that's saying it, because all these guys read off a script, these YouTubers, and they don't want to upset Massive. So these top 5 international guys, they can't push the league. They're not pushing the league. Nobody is interested in them, American people. Just like baseball, right? Nobody's interested in the top 5. Can you name the top 5, top 10 baseball players today? You probably could name 1 or 2, but really, like, nobody's interested in a baseball league where nobody speaks English. They showed that years ago, the American public. Now the American public and the basketball fans left the NBA. They're not interested in these top 5 international guys who can't promote the NBA. This is bad, folks. I know you never heard this before, but it's bad. Imagine Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Dominique Wilkins, these type of guys back in the 80s or 90s, whatever, Karl Malone, them not promoting the game, folks. Them not promoting the game on advertisement. That would be crazy. So, you know, your SGAs, your Lucas, Lucas okay, but he really ain't promoting the game to a higher standard. Your Lucas, your Wembys, your Joel Embiid's. Well, I don't even know if he's top 5 anymore. All these type of international guys that they want top 5 so they can get international ratings, and they done stole all these international players from their countries, and these people are pissed in the Euro League. Go check that out. I didn't even know about this madness, but the Euro fans are pissed at the NBA because they keep stealing their players, right? So, yeah, these guys ain't promoting the NBA. What they're doing is they're getting their paychecks and they're going back home in the off season. Whatever, I'm cool with it. Go back to Serbia, go back to Greece, Greek freak, but they're not promoting the game, folks. So the only thing that keeping the game alive is who? YouTubers. You're literally promoting the game for the NBA. So what the NBA does is they create a whole bunch of controversy through different things. The biggest thing, we already know LeBron James. The second biggest thing, who is this? Bronny. Just all kind of different. This guy said this, is, you know, ex-NBA players. This guy said this, and, you know, this guy on this podcast said this. These NBA players, whether now or past, they're part of, you know, creating a controversy for the NBA, or whatever happens during the season that they mostly fake. And all this stuff creates YouTubers to what? React. And they got to react. Why? So they can get that paycheck, so they can get that money. So, I mean, goodness gracious, a 2-year-old could figure this out, folks. I mean, so this is the NBA now in a nutshell. This is your NBA now in a nutshell. It's never going back to on-court greatness because, one, like I said, you don't have the guys for that. Two, the NBA is comfortable where it is. I'm not even gonna get into that scandal. That's a whole hour right now by itself. But that's part of the controversy to get their league to sell. Listen, as far as the NBA, it's been for better or for worse. Okay, they already seen what was happening going into the 2000s, the mid 2000s, and they took a big blow. When LeBron James arrived to the NBA Finals in 2007, I can't stress this enough, guys. This is when the NBA knew it was finished, and they had to come up with something. And maybe they didn't come up with it the next year, the year after that, but they had to come up with something, okay? And you can say they end up coming up with something with the decision, okay? But the fact is, when LeBron James showed up in the 2007 Finals, and it was the lowest rating Finals of all time, they was in deep dog doo-doo, folks. And it didn't smell good. It didn't smell good. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do, folks. The future of the NBA just got the lowest ratings of all time against a team that was going for a dynasty. Folks, that should have been one of the highest rating finals of all time. The guy with the most expectations, the most hype of any player coming into the NBA, more than Wilt, which is the most ludicrous thing you ever heard, because Wilt to this day still is the most hype expectations coming into the league, and nobody's even close. But they're saying LeBron James had more expectations, more hype than Kareem, Shaq, Jordan, everybody you can name, anybody you can, Magic, Larry, anybody you can name, folks. LeBron James had this dunking on rich boy academy school kids at a Catholic school because he grew up rich ever since he was in the 5th grade, folks. Oh, the media didn't tell you that story, did you? Did they? Don't worry, I got that video out. And no other boob tuber told you that, right? No, because they're part of the script. They're part of that. They don't want to expose that LeBron James grew up rich in a rich home since he was in 5th grade. Anyways, so the NBA was gassed. You can't have the lowest rating finals of all time. You can't. You can have the second, I guess. I mean, if you suck that bad and nobody wants to see you, but you can't have the first. And we know they use that excuse with Tim Duncan. But Tim Duncan was playing, I think he was playing the Nets or the Pistons. Okay. But he's not playing the Nets or the Pistons now. He's playing the king, the chosen one. The guy with the most hype, the most expectations. And what happened, folks? Not only was it the lowest rating finals of all time, the people were right on the damn money not to watch this crap, not to watch LeBron James. And why? Because everybody knew back then LeBron James was not that dude in 2007. And what happened? He melted down and pooped all over the arena in 4 games straight. 4 games straight, he did it, folks. And it was when it was all said and done. It was all said and done. And he ran out of damn diapers after a 4 game sweep. Poopy pants. The fans were right not to watch it. Not to watch it. They already knew. They already knew, folks. And it was so bad. I'm starting to think that they had to get the big three Celtics together just to help the NBA. Build a super team and help the NBA. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Whether it's true or not. That's what I'm thinking now. But LeBron James would not show up in the NBA Finals. We know he choked at 9 and 10 on purpose because he didn't want to play Kobe and get embarrassed because he wasn't, as we know, we even know now, right? He wasn't going back to the NBA Finals without a super team. It don't matter who was going to be there in 2008, 9, 10, 11. If it was going to be the Mavs, if it was going to be the Suns, it was going to be the Lakers with Kobe, if it was going to be the Spurs again, he wasn't going there, folks, without a super team, right? So in 2011, he showed up with a super team and got his ass kicked again, right? But now he was on the super team and he thought that, at least I could blame it on somebody, but he didn't have nobody to blame it on because he melted down again in 2 straight finals. So the NBA has been in trouble for a long time, folks. All the NBA can do is make a mockery of its history, of its game, all this stuff for controversy to sell the NBA. This is what's so crazy, right? Remember, the GOAT debate is not really a GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. It's a reaction debate. It's a reaction debate because you can get a better GOAT debate out of Michael Jordan versus Kareem, Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird, Michael Jordan versus Magic, Michael Jordan versus a lot of other people, even Wilt. You can't get a GOAT debate out of LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Why you have a GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James is because you get the biggest reaction out of it. Because it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. And that's what the NBA wants. They want the reaction. They don't have, how many times I got to tell you guys, they don't have these players no more. They don't have them for on-court greatness. So they got to let these dudes run around looking crazy and, them have no defense put on them, change all the rules for them to make them look good. They diss their past eras. This is, yeah, they diss their past eras to get a reaction. Again, folks, this is kindergarten stuff. Whatever happens on Fox Sports or, them debate shows back in the day, whatever, Fox Sports or ESPN, whatever comes out, their pie holes for all these years has to be approved by the NBA, has to be okayed by the NBA. So these ain't just dudes, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, and Colin Cowherd, whoever, saying these ridiculous things. It has to get approved by the NBA. Because again, whatever the image, the face, the NBA wants the image, let's just say the image, whatever the image of the NBA wants it to look like, it has to go through the NBA. And who runs the NBA? The Players Association and the owners. They did a good job putting Dumbo in front, acting like he runs things. I'm just trying to tell you guys something that, nobody else, they won't tell you. They want you to tell you the world works like what you see it. It doesn't work like that. businesses don't work out, you just see them up front. There's a lot of stuff working in the background to make them work. Now, so this has pretty much been your NBA for a hot minute, folks. And while you look for somebody to blame why the NBA is like it is, why it is like it is, because all these YouTubers won't tell you these things. That's why the NBA is like it is. Whether it's a LeBron James fan, Michael Jordan fan, whatever, with these YouTubers. Because they're eating this up for a paycheck. Basically for a YouTube paycheck. Okay? So, I had somebody ask me about Wemby. Look, guys. I don't think this guy's going to make it through the season, unfortunately. I know I'm the, bearer of bad news, it sounds like. But we're just talking about reality. And to me, I don't think he's going to have a long career. If he has a long career, it's going to be just full of injuries. The fact is, this guy is 7'5", and moving at a pace like that. You can't sustain that. Yes, a lot of these NBA players are faking injuries, but a lot of them are really injured. They're letting these guys, we don't know why, folks, go back and destroy their bodies after playing 82 games, whatever they play here in the NBA, 78, whatever, and then go to the EuroLeague and destroy their bodies over there. And to me, it looks like Joker ain't going to be putting up a lot of points this year. Look like he's tiring down, folks. So his MVPs are done. He's not putting up those numbers no more. He's getting his assists, his rebounds, but he's not putting up a lot of points per game. That's over. He might be tired. He got to be. He goes back and plays in the EuroLeague or Serbia every single year. Yep. That's a tough dude. I'll give it to him. But no, Wemby, I remember I said it first. I said it first. And if he can't make it, don't be surprised if they say he got one of I forget what he had last year, some blood disease. Don't be surprised if they bring that back up and say he has that instead of the injury. Guys, he's not gonna. This is the same pace of play that Wilt Chamberlain had to endure. I think I think it was like 7-1, 7-2. Wilt Chamberlain, the same pace of play. By the time he got to year 8, it was kind of good. He started playing like Bill Russell. Although he was getting criticized and kicked in the mouth because he didn't play like Bill Russell. But Bill Russell had a loaded team. So Bill Russell could play like himself if Bill Russell shot a brick fest. So, a lot of injuries with Wilt Chamberlain, going into year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We all know the infamous 69 finals where his damn leg just gave out on him in the fourth quarter. Never to return. Watching the Celtics win that championship. So what I'm trying to say is I just don't think he's going to be able to last. No way. It's weird, man, because this guy, as much as a superstar he's supposed to be, what's the real promotion of this guy? I don't know. Maybe he's promoted more back in France. But man, we had some guys. I remember Larry Johnson came into the league. This guy had all kind of commercials. It was crazy. Penny Hardaway. This guy had crazy commercials, man. Penny Hardaway was bigger than life. Just a lot of these guys, man. Where's it at for this so-called future of the NBA that they're promoting could be a GOAT? Where's it at? I don't know. The advertisement and the promotion of these players today is just like head scratching compared to the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. These guys were like rock stars back in the day. If you saw Larry Johnson back in the 90s, you would swear he would be a top 75 player today. It was crazy. That's what you would have thought. Hell, they even promoted, remember Harold Miner? They promoted this guy like he was the next Jordan. These guys had commercials and, you know, it was crazy back in the 90s, man. The promotion of just like celebrities, it's not around no more like that, folks. It's gone. And like back in the day, it seemed like, you know, with the NBA, this great player or this great team was always edging out this great team and then moving on as the great team of the league. That's how it always seems back in the day. It ain't like that now. No more dynasties or nothing like that. It's just crazy. No more rivalries. I mean, it don't even seem like basketball no more. It just seems like a pickup game. But even pickup games is more tougher than this NBA. But no, Wemby ain't gonna make it, man. He ain't gonna make it. Not in this pace. Not because of skills. Not because nothing like that. The pace of play. No way. No way, folks. Can't do it. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. So I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, I know it sounds like, you was hating on Wemby last year. Look, guys, he's doing right now what he was advertised to do when he came into the league. The fact is, I'm not saying he's going to get hurt this year and never play again, but it wouldn't doubt if it wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt if he does get hurt this year, and that's it. He has to go out. But eventually, he's going to fall. You can't, man. Ralph Sampson was tall and lanky and got hurt, and they weren't even moving that fast as today's pace. But to me, he wasn't as skinny as Wemby. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to pray for him. I don't know, folks. But anyways, you see these scores out here, they are ridiculous. They ain't playing no defense. The referees ain't calling travel, carry. I guess for the Lakers, they're getting all the foul calls. You got sorry teams scoring 145, 135 a night, and it's just crazy. The NBA ain't changed. And all these goofy YouTubers, Michael Jordan, they gonna respect Michael Jordan when he come back, they gonna, if anybody can change the game, it's Mike. They gonna listen to Mike. We're not laughing about that. And guess what now? These YouTubers, these players are laughing at it because ain't nobody scared of no damn AI Michael Jordan. Because the players know Michael Jordan ain't back. That ain't no Michael Jordan, that's AI. So they're not scared of him. They weren't scared of Michael Jordan when he was an owner, participating in all this madness the past since he was owner of the league. He was part of it. But people try to act like he wasn't a part of it. He was a part of the madness that's been going on in the NBA since he was an owner all those years until a year and a half ago. Was he or was he not? That's why he couldn't really come out and say nothing. Because he was a part of the madness. Let's also remember, Michael Jordan knows. He was saying that when he came to the Wizards, they don't have those type of men anymore. That's the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. They don't have those type of men no more. That's why I say he could never be a head coach. Not that the 2000s were like really bad, but that's when it was starting to be bad. A lot of these players were just drafted because they were tall. They didn't really have any basketball IQ skills on a higher level, but they needed NBA players. And a lot of these international players, they were starting to have better IQs and fundamentals for basketball than a lot of these American players. The thing was that these international players didn't have college, right? So they were able, they were able to go professional young. They were able to go professional young. Like some of them, when they were in high school, it was crazy. I guess they just got different rules over there. But they went from high school. I guess they do got college over there, but I don't think they have, college basketball to where it's that big. So they go straight to the pros, play on a pro level. Yep. So that's why you had so many international players just start to stockpile in the 2000s. And I think they were better than the international players today, way better. Paul Gasols and Dirk Nowinski's and, these type of guys like that, to me, they were better. The Steve Nashes. I guess they don't consider Canada international, but whatever. They were just better players. So let me get off here. Yeah, Austin Reeves, the new Larry Bird exposing LeBron James. That again, he has so much help, and the help has to get held back. It don't matter who you play with. Rory, Anthony, everybody gets held back to play up to their potential. But at the same time, they have to be ready to save his ass in spots to where, pick up for him for the stuff he don't want to do or should be doing or can't do. And when they fail to do it, they're done. They're to blame. Or when LeBron James fails, they'll still nitpick and blame them. So they're just there as good to great players. And sometimes you never see that because LeBron James, he's the blocker. They can't shine. We done seen that throughout the years. Embarrassment of riches is for LeBron James. He can't play. Let's just say if LeBron James got another great player, boom, let's do this. He couldn't do it, folks. Let's say LeBron James went and got Dwayne Wade. That's it. Let's do it. He couldn't do it, folks. Let's say that LeBron James went and got Kevin Durant in his prime, in the 2010s. He couldn't do it. He couldn't win championships. As we've seen, he needs two superstars in a great bench. And three other, good players around him on the start five. LeBron James couldn't do what Kobe could do. I'm taking Paul Gasol and going the 3 straight championships and going back to back. Can't do that. And we already know it. Because we done seen it. You can't just go play with a superstar, folks. One. He has to play with another team's number 1 franchise player. To win championships 2 at a time. In their prime. We've seen it with Love. We've seen it with fucking Dwayne Wade. We've seen it with Bosh. We've seen it with Kyrie. Yes, Dwight Howard won in his prime, but he was still younger than LeBron James. And the Lakers, when they won the championship with AD on there. Look, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to stay on subject, but I don't have any subject. All I have is real talk to give you. That's it. The subject means nothing if you can't talk about what makes the subject the subject. If you can't put everything together around it. And that's what people try to do. They just try to blame LeBron James or blame this or blame that or say this or say that. But they ain't telling you the overall all-around picture of why it is. And they sound like fools.